So Donald Trump, in his continued efforts to hang out with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un but accomplish nothing of substance, has now gone to the demilitarized zone on the North Korean border with South Korea and actually stepped into North Korea, something a sitting American president has never done. And immediately the Trumpists are arguing that this is a great thing merely because it hasn't happened before. Now, later I'll get to the way in which right-wing media covered Barack Obama's dealings with North Korea, and you'll notice that there's a bit of a hypocrisy, a bit of a double standard there. But this is a weird thing that lots of people seem to not understand. Just because Donald Trump is the first to do something doesn't mean that that's a good thing. Trump's the first president I recall who visibly mocked a reporter's handicap while running for president in 2016. That doesn't mean Trump's a great guy for doing it, because nobody did that before, and I think you can come up with many other policy examples as well. So let's check out some video of what Donald Trump said. For some reason, the pool audio was off for just a few seconds too long from the previous live translation of Korean that was going on. So the first few seconds of Donald Trump's statement are cut off, but we'll pick it up when the audio comes back.
We expect it. We were in Japan for the G20. We came over and I said, hey, I'm over here. I want to call up Chairman Kim. And we got to meet, and stepping across that line was a great honor. A lot of progress has been made. A lot of friendships have been made, and this has been in particular a great friendship. So I just want to thank you. That was very quick notice, and I want to thank you.
Then there's a bit more from Donald Trump right after the translation of that first piece took place.
So we're going to go inside. We're going to talk for a little while about different things, and a lot of really positive things are happening, and I'm glad you could be here to see it. But tremendous positivity. Really great things are happening, and in a lot of places. But we met and we liked each other from day one, and that was very important.
The way that Donald Trump looks at Kim Jong-un as the translation is happening to gauge whether Kim Jong-un likes what Trump said is so reminiscent of like the fifth grader who wants the middle school kids to like him and is constantly monitoring the reactions on their faces as they talk. Trump also reportedly has invited Kim Jong-un to come to the White House, which would be very, very interesting to say the least. So I think the analysis here is maybe simpler than some might think. It is a good thing to try to have good relationships with other countries for the betterment of humanity, okay? Avoiding conflict and violence, that's good. Now, some are being critical of Donald Trump's actions because they say, oh, Trump is legitimizing Kim Jong-un, even though Kim Jong-un is a violent dictator. I don't think this is the right critique. Number one, the U.S. has a long history of legitimizing violent dictators. That's not new. Number two, yes, Kim Jong-un has been and will continue to use these meetings with Trump and these invites from Trump to propagandize internally within North Korea and propagandize the North Korean people. But who cares? He's doing that anyway, and that's not really at issue here. Outside of North Korea, Trump doing this does not legitimize Kim Jong-un in any materially relevant way. So I don't think that's the right critique. The problem is that Trump doesn't realize he's getting played, okay? Before the first meeting with Kim Jong-un, Trump bragged about how he was able to secure a meeting with a North Korean leader. Any president could have met with any North Korean dictator. It has been the American presidents who didn't want to do it without some preconditions because it would likely be pointless. And case in point, none of the North Korean dictators, including Kim Jong-un so far in his dealings with Trump, have stuck to these tired, vague promises that they've been making for decades. And Trump doesn't realize that he's getting played. That's the real critique. And because Donald Trump accomplishes nothing in these meetings, remember, missile testing has continued, the propaganda has continued, the threats have continued. This suggests that the United States is okay with treating regimes that oppress and pillage their own populations in the same way that we treat Western liberal democracies. It's an incredible hypocrisy, but it's also not surprising because we know that Donald Trump has been very taken with the likes of Putin and Duterte and I forget the rest of the list. And Kim Jong-un is on that list, and he's been increasingly alienating France and Germany and the United Kingdom and Canada. So that's the real critique. Legitimizing Kim Jong-un, it's kind of a weak critique, and we legitimize Kim Jong-un in many different ways all the time. we shouldn't understate the value of this also as a stunt to take attention away from Trump's absolutely disastrous failed diplomacy with Iran and the almost war that Donald Trump started. Because when Fox News and whoever else on the Trumpist right starts praising Donald Trump for doing this, for stepping into North Korea and continuing to praise gushingly Kim Jong-un, it does frame Trump as a successful diplomat, which he is not, remember. And again, he's accomplished nothing practical or tangible with North Korea, and it takes attention away from the almost true disaster that was Trump's authorized strike against Iran, and then at the last second calling it back, supposedly after being told by the military what the civilian casualties would be, even though it is extraordinarily difficult to believe that the military would not have briefed Trump on that earlier on in the game. One of today's sponsors is Impeach the Card Slap Game. You cannot slap Donald Trump in real life, but you can slap him in this hilarious, fast-paced two-player card game, and you can get it for 10% off when you go to davidpakman.com/impeach and use the coupon code PakmanShow at checkout, all one word. Awesome for parties when you're having a few drinks. I've been playing it with some friends of mine. Currently has a 5 out of 5 star rating on Amazon, and it combines clever satire about the Trump administration with really funny, high-quality cartoon artwork, all in a really lively card game that's easy to learn, but it stays interesting every time you play it because of how well designed it is and really how much thought went into the humor and the political commentary. The game covers a ton of themes: global warming, Russian collusion, tax cuts for the wealthy. Impeach the Card Slap Game is perfect if you're looking for something fun and casual to do with your politically minded friends or family members. You might even learn something new about the Trump administration while you're playing the game. It's a perfect gift for anyone who has a sense of humor about Trump, or get it for yourself and have a really fun and witty game to play when people come over. You can even play it tournament style. Get Impeach the Card Slap Game by going to davidpakman.com/impeach and get 10% off when you use the coupon code PakmanShow at checkout, all one word.